Oh my god, you guys, my balls hurt like hell. Well, I wouldn't say like hell, but like, um, I tweeted about I tweeted about this the other day that sometimes I just concentrate really hard on something, and then I like end up sitting on my balls, or I end up just squishing them between my legs. Does that happen to anyone else? If you have balls, does it happen to you? Let me know. I know it's nothing serious, right? Don't worry about me. Also, I just realized I'm gonna be posting these on YouTube soon. They're gonna be available for the public or whatever. That's like the whole plan. I think I mentioned this in the Mac episode. And I should not swear as much, at least in the first, I think minute of the video. I think that's the rule with YouTube. I think I can say fuck now. I can say fuck. I think that's fine. Because, like, yeah, I was initially going to start this video saying, oh, dude, my balls fucking hurt. And then it was, maybe that's not a good idea, you know? But that's not the topic of the video. See, I was going to do this way sooner, but then some really important developments happened in the story. That kind of, yeah, that made me glad that I ended up waiting with it. Of course, I'm talking about the fact that Sony planned to essentially shut down operations for the classic PSN store. So that includes PlayStation 3 games, PSP, PlayStation Vita. And the plan was, yeah, you would not be able to buy those games anymore. You would still be able to download games you own. I think I think Sony would have had a pretty nasty case on their hands had they not at least given that ability, right? Even though I think legally they are like kind of protected. I think legally you just own a license to download the game, whatever. You don't actually own the game when you buy a digital game. And it's like sort of it's like just handled in the fucking in the fine print in such a way where, yeah, at any point Sony or any first party Steam, Xbox, Nintendo, whatever, they can withhold the right to like let you download it again, right? But still, I think that would be pretty problematic. I don't actually know how it is on the Wii. Can you still re-download stuff on the Wii? I know it was tied to your console, and actually, yeah, I transferred all my stuff to the Wii U when I got it. So actually, that should, if I can re-download stuff, it should work on my Wii U. I don't have, well, I still have my old Wii, but like it's basically kind of dead. But yeah, the idea was you would not be able to download or buy more games on those stores anymore. They had already taken down the web version of that store. You can actually still access it with some workarounds, which is pretty neat because on the PS3 the store barely fucking works anymore. It's gonna just crash your console when you try to buy anything. A lot of the banners and ads on the Vita store and obviously the PS3 store are like super outdated. The PSN store on the PSP straight up does not work anymore. You cannot, like, none of the tabs do anything. I think even like even logging into Wi-Fi now with a PSP is like impossible. I could not get it to work right with a modern router personally. So the only method really was like to download PSP stuff on the PS3 and then transfer it over with a USB cable. Just stupid shit like that. I mean, with PS1 games, for example, that process was still really worth it because the PSP is a very good device for playing PS1 games, for a lot of little reasons. But yeah, so like we're already in a place where actually buying those games is kind of hard. And downloading those games, whatever. I should just get a glass of water in the future. I should just get a glass next to me and then drink from that. It's gonna be way better for audio. So apologies about that. Yeah, so they're still taking down the PSP stuff, but everything else, they're like, okay, sorry guys, we fucked up. You're right, we should not do this. Well, I mean, that's great news. Realistically, the realist of me says, yeah, it's only a matter of time before they try this again, and like, they still, I mean, the damage is kind of done as well. Like I said, a lot of those web pages are very hard to access, those consoles are very hard to use. And it's clear a lot of that shit had been languishing for years. Clearly because Sony just did not want to put in the maintenance, right? And I mean, I guess like, yeah, I guess they're just thinking, their thinking probably was that, oh, this looks really bad because we're not maintaining it, right? It's like barely working. Just keeping it up like this probably can't be that big of a deal, right? Like, because clearly you can still download those games, right? You can still download all that content. Even, you know, the idea was even after the stores shut down, you can still download it, right? So clearly that's not the issue. The issue is probably they don't want to be held accountable for it to work. You know, they don't want to be in a position where people can like point at this and say, hey, this is shitty, why does this not work? And that whole maintenance was not worth it for them. And I mean, clearly they're still not going to do that, right? They're still not going to properly maintain it. It's like, see with the Xbox online whatever digital store, there's still kind of a separation between like Xbox One and like 360 games, the way they're kind of displayed on the page. But you still do get like a very clear sort of listing for 360 games and like DLC, and you can very easily buy all that stuff, even if it's not even supported on the Xbox One, you know. I think Microsoft are actually doing that really well, and then obviously Nintendo, we don't even need to talk about it like this. Yeah, so, this whole thing, just, yeah, like, obviously this caused this mass panic online. Everyone took it really seriously, that I could see, right? Like, it was a big deal in my bubble. Everyone was talking about it. A lot of people were worried that PS3 patches might be affected, and there was actually some real like concern about that initially, that people started saying, hey, like, I can't actually download the DLC, the patches for this game, like it's not offering me the patches anymore. It was kind of on a game-by-game basis, and like some stuff came back later. There's a very good chance that a lot of the stuff had already been sort of offline for a long time, you know? And we only just notice it because, like, you know, they directed our eyes at the issue. But still, that doesn't make it better, right? Like, still, that shit should be available. And everyone started, like, just buying all the games that they wanted from the PS3 store. See, my whole take on it was a little bit, like, it was, you know, similarly concerned, but the consequence that I kind of took from it is like, I think I actually should buy more physical games, you know? When, like, all that shit that is on the store, right? Like, I could easily just download it digitally and, like, blah, it's gonna work. But I thought, as a backup, actually, buying a lot of those games if there's the option as a disc instead is actually way better. Because obviously, you know, disc rot is an issue. Your shit can get worn out, can get damaged, whatever. But like, you're still responsible for it. You still, it's in your hands, right? Whereas with all this digital shit, I just got more and more sort of in this mindset, like, huh, you really just don't know. You really just do not know with the digital games whatever the fuck is gonna happen. I really don't think it's like fear mongering at all. I think I like, you know, there's like there's the two genders. You're either a physical person or you're a digital person, right? Personally, you know, the progressive that I am, I'm kind of in the middle. I was always like, yeah, I didn't really give a shit. I do like having, I mean, honestly, the biggest reason why I still would often just get physical games, is they're way cheaper, like, generally. And I actually tend to get them sooner as well, right? When you pre-order and stuff. But generally, I didn't really give a shit, right? Generally, I was like, yeah, you know, I don't mind buying digital games. I think that, like, when they're on sale, that's super convenient. And, like, I mean, I hate, like, uninstalling and re-downloading games and shit. But, like, I mean, that's just as much of an issue with physical games at this point, you know? Actually, I don't, like, which one's faster? Are the Blu-ray drives in the console, it's like so slow that it's actually faster to download the games? I'm not sure. But I mean, I just got Returnal, right? And I got also the physical version, and I got it a day early, which is cool. Well, actually, no. Well, you could, yeah. Like, I came home and it was, you know, it was in my mailbox. But then that midnight, I would have been able to download it, you know. Had I bought it digitally. So I guess, like, it wasn't even that much of a time save. But still, technically, I got it a day, quote-unquote, early. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm not, like, dogmatic about the stuff at all. I'm not really hard on either side, right? I do think, man, like, just all those digital guys, they make that their whole personality somehow. You know? I've seen that so many fucking times. That the people will just not stop talking about the fact of just how much they prefer downloading their games. It's like, good for fucking you. Good for you, man. I'm happy for you. But, like, why? Why? Yeah. You can tell I'm a little bit on edge today. I'm not sure why. Maybe it's because of my balls. Yeah, so that's all beside the point, right? But, like, now this whole Sony thing, even though now it's resolved, I was really in a place where I was like, huh, I should probably rebuy all my digital games, at least on the PS3, you know? At least on the older consoles. I mean, with the Xbox, I'm not really that worried right now, honestly. Even with the PS4 and PS5, I'm not that worried. If I'm completely honest with you, it really is crazy that with the Vita they were gonna take it down. The Vita, comparatively, right? It was a way more modern kind of architecture, just more modern infrastructure. With the Vita, they had this mandate from the start that, yeah, every game is going to be physical and digital day one, right? With the PSP, that was, for example, not the case. There's a lot of older PSP games that were never released digitally. So you couldn't legally play them on the PSP Go, for example. Obviously, fucking the PSP was just the most wide open, not secure at all, most fucking pirated system ever. So that was not really a problem for the average person, honestly. But yeah, I guess that was a big concern for Sony, right? Like it sounded like with the Vita they wanted to future proof it, you know, like with the idea that yeah, every game is going to be available digitally, and like you have these crazy expensive memory cards, blah 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 blah, and yeah, it's like the system that's not even that old, and they wanted to fucking kill it. I mean, they've already killed it, but like they wanted to, just piss on the grave, bulldozer it, nuke it, yeah, that is really wild to think about. You know, I'm not even that upset about the PSP stuff because like it's barely even doing any damage anymore. Like the PSP it's already fucking impossible to get games. It already was impossible to get games on the PSP anyway. At this point, it's already way fucking easier to just pirate everything. And with the Vita, we're kind of in a similar place, I'd say. With the PS3, I really don't know, man. Like, I really did not have a great experience hacking my fat original PS3. Like, all the software, all the homebrew shit is just so weird, and so... It does, like, weird shit to your system, and sometimes you try to delete something, and it will not, like, permanently go away. There's still, like, fucking remnants of those files on your system, and it's really weird, and... That's why I just got a new PS3 a while back. And I'm hesitant to soft mod that one, right? I am considering like maybe I'll just get another PS3 and then soft mod that one just to be safe, just to future proof myself. Well, like yeah, with this PS3, I'm like yeah, I'm just gonna buy the disc games that I want. And gonna buy the few digital games that I want as well. See, I rebought Tokyo Jungle, for example. I imported the Japanese version. Great game, by the way. Better roguelike than Hades. Yeah, man. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do any more drastic measures with any other console, right? But like, it's really made me think very seriously. Like, huh, maybe I should, like, be way more conscious with my purchasing habits now. You know, maybe I should really avoid digital games, if at all possible, as much as possible, right? Like, I mean, yeah, like I said, I was never really that fussed about it in the first place. The convenience is not that important to me. Obviously it's nice to just, be able to take advantage of those sales, but like, yeah. It's just, like, I'm so lucky that I bought shit like Folklore, like more than a year ago, I think, at this point. Before it got super obscenely expensive. It's a PS3 game that's like a fucking, based in Irish culture. Matthew Matosis represent. Dude, I'm convinced that, Epsilon Eagle from Alien Soldier should be like the Irish national icon at this point, honestly. Thumbs up, give this video a thumbs up if you get what I'm talking about. Yeah, like a game like Folklore now is obscenely expensive. You can't fucking buy it on the PS3 store. What the fuck do you do? I think just taking it seriously now will save me a lot of fucking headaches in the future. And I strongly suggest, like, if you're... I mean, if you're one of those corny digital-only guys, then, like, I don't know what it will take to convince you. I get the angle that, like, oh, it shouldn't be your concern, right? Like, these companies should actually respect you and, like, not do this shit. But the problem is that they won't. They don't give a shit about you. So you need to do what you can to, like, give yourself as much autonomy and as much power as possible. You know? And that's why I stand here in front of the American people to say, just stop buying digital games. Just buy everything as much on disc as you can. I was even thinking, like, even before this whole thing happened, even before this whole PS3 fucking thing went down, this year I was thinking, maybe I should get that Scott Pilgrim limited run games release. Because you don't know. You know, I don't even care about that game at all. But, like, just the fact it's, like, this historical artifact, and they might take it down again, that's serious. You know? I was, like, legit thinking, maybe I should just buy it because of that. Just so that because I know they could take it away again. And, like, I just have way more confidence in that purchase now, if I buy it as a disc. Can you actually still get it? I'll check after this. I'll keep this a short one as well. I don't really have that much more to say on it, honestly. Piracy is perfectly ethical. Well, and it's complicated, right? Like, I don't want to... My stance on piracy is like that. If you're a little kid, I don't think fun and, like, having access to art and, like, shit that, like, improves your life and makes you happy, that should not be a luxury, right? So that's why I would not begrudge anyone for, like, pirating games on that level. I mean, I do genuinely feel pirate games that don't really need to, you know? You probably do have the money. You just need to be content with yourself, you know? You just need to know what you're doing. That's kind of my stance, right? But yeah, in those specific instances, right, it's like perfectly ethical. Just fucking bust open your fucking console and get cracking. I've done it, of course. Yeah, man. And, like, I mean, the PS3 is just such a special case where I'm so unsure. Like, a lot of PS3, there's no, like, I mean, it's Blu-ray discs. It's, like, huge-ass fucking games that nobody really comprehensively backed up. So, like, I was trying... What the fuck was I trying to do? When I saw it on my PS3, I think I was trying to, like, download... I was trying to download some kind of PSN game. Was it Outrun Online Arcade? I don't know, but, like, it was something like that. And just getting around the DRM, even though the console is already modded, it's such a goddamn nightmare. And I don't want to... Yeah, like, I don't want to put all my eggs in the homebrew basket in this case. I think with a lot of other systems, you're probably fine. But the PS3, definitely think about the PS3. Definitely try to buy as many games as you can that you want to play. Just stay woke. Don't let them get you. Don't let Jim Ryan kill your fun. Yeah. Do I have anything else to say on this? I don't think so. Dude, I'm happy this is a short one. I'm happy I got this, like... We're under 25 minutes currently. I guess I'm gonna end it on under 25 minutes, yeah. That's my goal now. Yeah. Hope you enjoyed. Did I say that already? Probably. Goodbye. So I was listening back to this, and I thought, okay, I think there's a big point I still need to drive home more. which is just how, like, obviously I've kind of already discussed, like, obviously there's disc rot, and I just saw a fucking thing about, like, DS games. Oh yeah, the whole thing was that, like, the Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire cards are, like, dying everywhere. Which is very concerning, right? And then I saw another tweet on that saying, yeah, actually, that could happen to, like, any DS or 3DS game eventually. Like, there's a very real danger of just the way they're produced, that they could only last, like, 20 years, 25 years, something like that. And obviously, that's a big cause for concern, right? But at the same time, you have to consider just the fact that for the foreseeable future, the security in knowing that I have this big shelf that I can go back to for, like, years and years and years, and I can grab a game from it, and then I can put it in the console that it was designed to work with. I'm thinking really about this, like, from an engineering and, like, development standpoint, right? Like, just putting the game in the console that it was designed to work with, and, like, if I maintained everything, if I took good care of it, it's gonna work in the exact way it was intended, right? That gives me a lot of peace of mind, right? On the PS2, there's this software called OPL that you basically use to play ISOs, right? So backups, downloaded games, whatever. And it's great. The compatibility is very high, but it's not 100%, right? The compatibility is not 100%. I know, I specifically imported DMC1 and Klonoa 2 from Japan. Number one, because I just really like those games, right? But, like, number two, because they consistently had issues with OPL. I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna get, like, a hard modded PS2 and then play them that way. And just, again, like I said, the security and the reliability of that is very nice. Like, I think what I want to advocate for is that don't put yourself in a box. You know, don't don't dogmatically follow a single-minded kind of philosophy with this sort of thing, because you just never know what the fuck is gonna happen and, like, what exactly the status is with any kind of software. Even piracy is not the definitive answer, you know? Like I said with the PS3, for example. And even in this case, the PS2, right? Like, where I'm still bumping into issues with that respect. And then you have to consider, like, fuck, man, like, just today I was dealing with PS1 shit. You can read my whole saga about the, like, PS1 on Twitter. But just, like, the fact that you have to, well, now we have a soft mod on the PS1, right? But, like, for the longest time, if you wanted, like, any kind of playback of backups, you had to hard mod the console. And, like, making an expensive modification to this console that you don't know how long it's gonna last, just so you can play backups, right? You can enable piracy. That's not a very good prospect, you know? Like, even just, yeah, like, if I were to buy a hard modded PS1, like, if I didn't have to solder it myself, right? That's cool. But again, with any piece of tech, you're like, what the fuck do I do, like, long term, right? So this may sound contradictory, right? Like, I just said, oh, you have the security of the disc, but also with discs, you don't know how long those are gonna last, right? Again, it's less about advocating for a single philosophy and more saying, yeah, just think about this sort of thing, right? Like I said, don't put yourself in a box. Yeah, I think that's what I wanted to say. I guess, like, you know, the FPGA stuff is very important. Maybe I'm gonna make a video about that. Maybe that would be fun. But just, like, making, like, the fact that we can make new hardware now with, like, modern components and, like, Like, we don't need, like, original fucking blueprints or molds or whatever. And that hardware can operate the exact same way that the original hardware does. That's really fucking cool. That's really impressive, and that's really important. Um, yeah. But then, even then, like, if we, like, the farthest you can probably get with FPGA right now, from what I understand, is like Dreamcast. Just when I look at sort of content from the retro gaming community, there's a very large sentiment like, yeah, we don't fucking know how long it's gonna take, like, to get FPGA to a more advanced place, right? And then again, even if you get to the point where you have PS3 FPGA, did anyone actually back up all the fucking games? You know? So yeah. Like, don't put yourself in a box. Don't be like a be all end all type of person with this sort of thing, you know? I think it's very important that you like analyze this sort of thing on a case by case basis, and that you back yourself up as early as you can, you know? And that's kind of what I'm trying to do. Like, yeah, DS, for example, is like the kind of console where I'm like, do I really need to buy most of my games still, like, when it's so easy and reliable to like play ROMs on that thing? I don't think so. But then again, PS3 is like one of those cases where I'm just not fucking sure. So I'm just buying games while I still can before they get ludicrously expensive, and before I spend like hours fucking one day trying to find a digital version of I don't know, fucking Dragon Guard 3. Great. Not a great game, in my opinion, personally. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.